Yeah, I had to find out. What deal was that? This video is going to be a lot darker than the Goldstein video. And if you haven't seen that video, I highly suggest it. We go over James Goldstein, the collector. Does he collect tickets, rent, or souls? But today we're going to talk about something even darker. After the Goldstein video, this picture came up on one of the edits, and I actually got a little bit curious. And I've seen this picture before, but with the support from the last video, I felt the need to share this with you guys. Now, I'm not just sharing this because he's sitting down with some Jew, and in some ways, this doesn't really have to do with Jews. Kind of. See, the first thing that got my attention was, I know LeBron James is not a Jew, but a Christian, so why is he sitting with him? In the manner in which they are, holding hands in a circle, seems occultish to me, but an important question needs to be asked. Is this just LeBron James' friend? And it seems that the answer is no. This guy here is named Yosef Pinto, and we're going to discuss who he is and why his relationship with LeBron may be sus for basketball fans. I'd like to start the video discussing who this rabbi is, then discussing his relationship with some of these celebrities, and at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about why it may be sus for basketball fans. When trying to find out who was sitting at that table, Yosef Pinto was the main guy that came up. When searching for a guy like him, it is kind of hard to find out a lot of stuff about him because of stuff like this, but at the end of the day, I wanted to find out at least some things. And with a very quick Google search, I found out something. It was honestly enough for me to raise an eyebrow, because I know they're not going to say anything explicitly about what he's doing. But as a man with some knowledge at least, I can't say I like the fact that basketball players are going to seek his advice, or, to gain something from him. Though there can potentially be another reason outside of basketball they are seeking his advice, which I'll discuss. I do have to say, some of his videos on YouTube, most of his videos on YouTube, I actually agree with. I took the route of watching hella videos instead of mainly going on the internet and reading articles, though I did do that too. This is him on Wikipedia, so we can look at the stuff that makes him special, or at least what he does. And so the main thing you're going to hear or read about this guy is that people like to see him because he's like a financial supervisor guru, something like that. He gives you blessings on your money, or he gives you advice on how to make more money. I'm not honestly too sure how that stuff works, except I think I do. And so if you just search up, what does this guy do? This is what you'll find. Israeli Moroccan-Orthodox Kabbalist, author and leader of Global Mazda Shuva Israeli organization, where he supports the war in Israel and helps usually soldiers, but other people in need. If you're not Israeli, good luck. But you see that word right there, Kabbalist? That's the crux of this video. And that's what we're going to discuss about why I don't think that should be in basketball. Anything that has to do with that should not be in basketball, in my opinion. Before I talk about what that is for the people who do not know, what I'd like to do is just go over some of the other celebrities that like to visit him. And again, if you were to research this without knowing what Kabbalist is, mainly you're just going to get out of it that he gives blessings to business decisions. And I think I should mention before we move on, he was arrested for bribery. And let's just say after his arrest, the victim, they paid for it.
I feel really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and having taken them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself. So I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease.
I'll let this play a little bit longer, but let's be honest, this shit would get copyrighted if I did. And here's a picture of two more familiar faces before we move on. And so you see when reading this, some of the stuff that Yosef talks about is something that you should probably follow, as he does give some good advice, and like I said before, I agree with the stuff he says online.
מי האויב הכי גדול של האדם? אדם. אתה האויב של עצמך. מי הזיק לך הכי הרבה בחיים? אתה. אתה יכול רק להזיק לעצמך. ואם אדם לא ידע איך לקשור את עצמו, ואיך לתפוס את עצמו, ואיך להחזיק את עצמו, ואיך להסתכל על החיים בצורה נכונה, ידעו כל יום אנחנו עוד מסתכלים על החיים עם משקפיים יותר ויותר שף. כל בעיה פג התוקף שלה. כל בעיה שיש לאדם תחכה לפוג התוקף שלה. ואדם צריך להיות חזק ולדעת גם שהגלגל יורד למטה, תחזיק אותו כי הוא...
If I'm gonna be honest, no, I do not think these celebrities are coming to him, kissing his hands or holding his hands, just for some, advice that their dad could give them. I'm inclined to believe the reason that they're coming to visit him are for more Kabbalistic reasons. And so to really find out what's going on, we have to find out what is the Kabbalah, what is Kabbalism, and is this negative or positive? Plus, what business would a basketball player have to do with this? There's honestly different origins, a lot of different ways people could explain what this is, but I have two videos I would like to show you.
We create as we speak. As the saying goes, abracadabra. Abora, I will create kadabra as I speak. We speak with our thoughts, with our mind. In Hebrew, moach, numerical value 48. Because our thoughts send out energetic frequencies into the world. We speak to the words written on the tablets of our heart, our lave, numerical value 32, as our emotions also have an energetic frequency that are sent out into the universe. Most of the Jewish spiritual masters agree that the biggest distance in the universe is between the head and the heart, the moach and the lave. But when we make this connection, Moach 48 plus Lave 32, we get the numerical value of pei, which literally translates to mouth.
And a lot of Yosef Pinto's own lectures are kind of based off this themselves, where he says you have to control your emotions and have to control the way you speak. But honestly, this is not fully explaining Kabbalism. And though I don't plan to do that, here's a more darker way of explaining it.
Are so rich, not because they rule the world, it's because they understand Kabbalah. Kabbalah is the secret map of how the human psyche creates a physical reality. It represents how pure consciousness materializes itself in the physical form. When you study the tree, you understand the psyche, the different energies you can use to bring down from the higher mental planes into the physical world. Kabbalah can be used in two ways: to ascend consciousness from the bottom of the tree to the top, to unify ourselves back with pure awareness, pure God, or used in magic, to bring down the higher forces of consciousness to materialize it and change physical reality. That's why Kabbalah is so powerful.
Here's Madonna's tattoo, Kabbalah tree, and here's David Bowie drawing the Kabbalah tree. This tree is on your hands, and it's basically a blueprint that represents how consciousness comes down and solidifies itself into a physical reality. Malkuth represents earth, physical reality, and Keter represents pure light consciousness. There are two ways you can use this tree. You can use it as an ascension tool to go from Malkuth, the physical world, and ascend your consciousness up the tree to divine source, or you can use it in magic to bring down the higher forces of consciousness to create a physical reality in magic. Now, we all know why these people probably use it. You can use the tree for bad reasons and for good reasons. This Christian painting called the Holy Trinity even has the Kabbalah tree inside of it, and it's from 1625, and you can find this in Rome in this church. Tree can be divided in these four sections, representing the four dimensions of consciousness: the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, and the physical. And that's how consciousness solidifies into a physical reality. We have willpower. Willpower turns into thought and thinking. Thinking turns into emotion and desire. And that turns into a physical action to create the physical world.
When I was younger, my mom used to ask me who's smart and would expect me to say I'm smart. I'm sure LeBron's not doing that with this rabbi. I'm sure what Yosef Pinto is trying to do with LeBron James is not go from the bottom to the top, but the top to the bottom. And I should say what LeBron James is trying to do with Yosef Pinto, not the other way around. And so what we learned is, if you go from top to bottom, you in some ways can change the real world. Now, this is what they believe. I'm not sure how much it actually works, but these are what the top people in the world do believe in and what they do follow. If Steph Curry says squatting helps his shot, well, I'm going to assume squatting is going to help my shot as well. So maybe this is some real life Harry Potter stuff, and maybe why rabbis such as Yosef Pinto dresses up like Dumbledore. Or does he look closer to Gandalf? Y'all tell me. Either way, this is damn near magic, if not exactly that. So, a basketball player having this in his arsenal is quite scary if you ask me. And if it is, it kind of does give credence to the fact I've been saying LeBron James has gotten more clutch over the years. I think it's quite funny LeBron James has two different juice accusations, if you know what I'm talking about. Both with some credibility, yet both rarely ever talked about amongst basketball fans and never talked about by the media. I just want to go back to that Kanye West video where I'm sure you guys know he talked a lot of crap about those particular people, and to be, saying it was bipolarism and apologizing in the way he did, it's quite sad if you ask me. And kind of shows you either he has power against him or has power to help him. And this is not just helping him a little bit. I mean, this is Kanye West, let's be real. For him to turn back what he was thinking, I'm sure he was going to help him a lot. In what way? I don't really know. And though I don't have any proof LeBron James is using dark magic exactly, what I can say is I do have proof he's working with somebody who is probably capable of dark magic. Being honest, definitely capable of dark magic. I mean, he's a Kabbalist, as it was said. So, I don't have any proof that he, in particular, was using this type of magic or that type of magic. I don't know what he was trying to get out of it. The saying you are as your company is kind of shows here. And so LeBron James, a guy who carries a dark magician with him, LeBron James, a guy whose wife was named in the biogenesis and has friends in the biogenesis scandal. Those who don't know what that is, that's related to PEDs. It does make me think he must have a damn good PR team. None of those things, barely any of those things are known to the public. But I'm sure everybody knew in the 90s and now about Michael Jordan's gambling. Though I have heard some pretty dark conspiracies on that topic as well. Though I'm not the biggest fan, Draymond Green donating money, Steph Curry, Omar Casspi, Kevin Durant, those basketball players donating money to the IDF, it's whatever. What really grinds my gears is the fact that a basketball player, a great basketball player in LeBron James, can potentially, or is potentially, using dark magic to become a better basketball player, or at least to be perceived that way. LeBron James has two famous pictures or videos. This picture here with him in 2010, right after the decision, and later on in 2022. LeBron James still does somewhat do that ritual. It is a little off-putting when you've seen it and you know the history potentially behind it, but it is what it is. I want you guys to let me know if you guys think LeBron James is guilty of this. What do you suspect of this? Does this mean nothing to you? Is this just another religious practice in your mind? You guys let me know. Though I've known a good portion of what I've talked about, it was you guys who gave me the confidence to talk about it here. Obviously, with the James Goldstein video being a video, like I said, I wasn't too familiar with doing. You guys showed me support and said I should continue videos like that. So here's a potentially darker video, at least in my opinion, So if you did like this video, obviously I would love the support. And let's see, maybe more videos like this may continue on. Until next time, salam.
Book. He says that Freemasonry is based almost totally on the Kabbalah.
Yes.
Jewish magic.
Yes.
And many Jewish rabbis have admitted this, and they say that in all of the rituals of Freemasonry, you will find the Kabbalah, the system of magic of the Jews. For example, the 30th degree of Freemasonry is the Knights of Kadosh.
Yes.
And it involves skulls and black robes and a knight laying in a coffin speaking from the dead.
Yes.
And all of this turning to the god of the underworld, the gods of the underworld.